Hi everyone, my name is Shantasia. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about one of my very favorite things, which is journal keeping. And you can keep a lot of different types of journals. There are art journals, writing journals, dream journals, daily journals, weight journals, and you can do it in a multitude of different ways. I myself have journaled both digitally on diaryland.com or diaryland.org, one of the two. I'll leave a link. And I also was a member of the Open Diary community for many years. But mostly I have always done a pen and paper journal. And the reason I do that is because I feel like it slows me down a little bit more than just typing. As a writer, when I am working on my novels, I want to be able to be quick and be able to catch up with my thoughts and keep them flowing as fast as I can. But when I'm journaling, it's more of a reflective time, more of a quiet thing for me to distress and process the things that I'm going through from my day-to-day experience. So today I just wanted to kind of show you where I started and share my thoughts on it. When I first started journaling, it was in 1995. My first journal entry was September 12th, 1995. And we didn't have a lot of money, so a lot of times what I would do is at the end of the school year, whatever pages were left from my notebooks, I would just rip all the schoolwork on the front, and then whatever it was that I had left, that was my journal. So they're pretty thin. There isn't much here. They're beat up. There's nothing pretty about this. But I just wanted to show it to you because there really is not a rule to journal keeping. If you have a desire to write, you can write on anything. You can write on napkins, you can write on 3x5 index cards, you can write on anything that is there in front of you. And I frequently do that myself, even now that I have nicer journals and have as many of them as I want. So I just want you to know that there really isn't an excuse for not journaling, because it's a really cool thing. It's like self-care and free therapy all wrapped into one nice package, and it really is only limited by what you limit it to be. So I think that everyone should journal, especially for writers. It's important for us to journal. So anyways, this is my first journal and I'm really proud of it. I was really into a lot of weird things. I have, let's see, the Mighty Ducks, Out of the Gray, Kurt Browning, our local radio station, Pavel Bure, Scott Davis, I think he was an ice skater, all kinds of things. I just wrote all the things on the front that I loved at the time and just went on with it. And these really are the most ridiculous, entries you'll ever hear, but they're really fun and I really like it. I talk about everything. I even put like my school things in here. Information about my school, because this was a notebook from the year before, so I added it in there. But yeah, so that was my first journal. And then my second one was a little prettier. It was August 30th, 1997 to October 30th, 1997. And another, it's called Sophisticats. These were all the rage when I was a kid, and I had a ton of them. Another thing that I do is I also add a picture of myself into the front of my journals, so I know what I looked like when I was in them, just for later on, and it's really fun. So this one I started on August 30th, 1997, and what sparked me starting to write again after having been out of it since like early 1996 was because Princess Diana had died that day, and I was very upset about it, and I decided that that was how I was going to process her death and the way that I felt about her life. So those are my first two journals. They're really simple. They're, like I said, you can do anything. You can even use your memo function on your phone if that's what you want. A lot of times if I don't have my journal with me, I will just write on whatever is available, and then I'll take it and I'll tape it, or I will glue it right into my current journal. And then as you'll find that if you don't put too much pressure on it, say, oh, I'm going to journal and I'm going to journal every single day and I'm going to go get this $30 journal. I have done that And I have to say that is one of the worst things I ever did for my journal keeping, because I never touched that journal. There was something about it being so expensive and beautiful that I just could not do anything with it. So I would end up just letting it sit for years until I just got sick of it, and I would pick up another journal, and I ended up wasting that beautiful $30 journal. So now, because I'm more into art journaling, you can see how chunky this is. I use more flexible type books with bindings that will expand or be a little bit forgiving if it starts to splay. I did put, this was a migraine medication ad that I got from Women's Day, I think. And I just put it on the cover of this simple journal that I bought from Walmart for like $7. And it is really, honestly, one of my favorite journals. And I'll see if I can get, this was when we went to Oklahoma for the first time. And we drove through Iowa and Missouri, and I just took maps that we had gotten at rest stops and I pasted them into my journal. So I really do a lot of different things with my journals. I definitely don't limit myself to what I can do in them, and I think that's really important. You need to be able to give yourself some freedom. You need to be able to explore things without feeling that you're judging yourself. And the best way to do that really is just to make it a place of play and to enjoy it. So that is my second to the last journal. This is journal number 38. And I am currently in journal number 39. And this one is called The Other Side of Fear. I usually will title my journals. Most times I wait until afterwards, but sometimes I'll hear a quote or something that maybe I'm working on, and I will put that in my journal right away. So this one, for instance, just because I want to show too much personal stuff, but this is my Texas or Bust spread. And I do a lot of memory keeping in my journals. It's not all about my mental health. It is also about sharing my experiences so that someday my family will have something to look back on, and I will have something to look back on, because all too frequently in this busy world that we're in, we don't take the time to sit down and really enjoy the memories that we're building that we need to leave for somebody, right? I feel like I would love to have my nieces and my nephews be able to read these journals and remember me through them, and also see their milestones, because a lot of what they do and a lot of the funny things that they say and all the adventures that we go on together end up in my journal, along with pictures, memorabilia, and things like that. And they are so young that even though we collect those things, like the ephemera and all the little mementos for them to put in their scrap journals, a lot of times those things get cut up, ruined, or lost. So this way they'll have something to remember their adventures by. I also do Bible journaling in my journal. And this year I started my journal out with a word study of my word of the year. And I chose the word serenity because I felt that was something that I really wanted to focus on for my life for the next year, and maybe pay attention to where it is showing up in my life that maybe I'm not aware of it showing up. So those are my journals. I hope you decide to journal. I hope that if you are looking for reasons to start journaling, that you will find them, because it really is one of the most amazing things that I've ever done for myself. I can't say that in my 35 years I have journaled every day, because I feel that's unrealistic. There are definitely times in my life where I am journaling every day, if not multiple times a day, just to process things and deal with things that are in my past or things that are going on in my present. So I just want to encourage you, because it is an important tool. It is something that really can enhance your life, and it can be very enjoyable if you realize that you don't have to put rules and regulations on your journal keeping. It really is something private between you, and as long as you make it that and you don't worry about what other people are doing or are going to say when they see your journals, then you will be just fine. So thank you for dropping by. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I know that every minute is precious and there are a lot of awesome things to see on the YouTube world. So thank you again. As always, you can go ahead and check my social media platforms down below. I do have a freebie on my website for writers. If you subscribe to my mailing list, you can receive a free character worksheet where you can see how I build my characters from scratch. Thank you again. I will see you next time.